Hey, this is Lynn. I'm here today with Max. I had one of my viewers, Susan, ask me to bring Max on and show you Max. So, this is our one remaining dog, my little Gracie, who I had to put down 3 weeks ago, 3.5 weeks ago now. That was his mother. They don't look anything alike, but she had two puppies. Max was one of them. Ruby, we lost when she was 10 to cancer. Max is 15, and he is our one remaining dog. And he's not real happy. He's not as much of a cuddler and a lap dog as Gracie was. So he's probably wondering, why am I up here? But he's a little teddy bear. He's sweet. And he's the one, if you ever hear barking in my videos, it's him. He's the barker. So, anyways, I'm going to put him down. I think he's made enough of an appearance and he's going to get wiggly soon. So, let's get him down. Okay, so happy Monday. I'm here to do my report, I should say, my weekly weigh-in results and talk about my week, which was a struggle, I have to admit. Now, before I get started, tomorrow is Halloween, and for me, it's not an issue because number one, I'm now retired, so I'm not in the workplace where everyone's bringing candy in all the time. Number two, I'm far enough along in eating carnivore that all my sugar cravings are gone. And number three, because of our dogs and how anxious they get with like little kids and stuff and people come to the door, we just haven't participated. We've been that, dark house that kids just don't come to. So we don't hand out candy on Halloween and just haven't ever since we had our little pack of dogs. And so for us, it's not for me, it's not a big deal, but I know that, when I was working, it was like everyone was bringing candy into work. It was such a temptation when I was still sugar addicted, and had the cravings. And so for me, it was like Halloween was a challenge, and my kids would go and they wouldn't go trick or treating, but they go to our church and do the whole trunk or treat thing. And so they were always loaded up with candy for Halloween. And I don't know about you, but I was one of those parents that would steal my kids' candy when they were sleeping because I was that much of a sugar addict. So I guess I would just say, like, to challenge yourself to have a plan for what you're going to do if you're still struggling and you still have cravings, and if this is going to be a temptation for you, have a plan for what you're going to do. And for me, the best thing that I do is just make a firm decision that I'm going to say no. Now, that may or may not work for some people. And to be honest, it hasn't always worked for me. There have been times where I've made a decision, I've made a promise to myself that I was going to say no, and then I broke that promise to myself. So I would say fill up on fat, especially tomorrow, but if even today, fill up on fat because fat is very satiating. Have a plan for, what you're going to eat if you get a craving, whether it be, some cheese or beef sticks or whatever it is. Plan ahead and to make a better choice, and so that you don't end up with that regret afterwards, because I know I always was feeling very regretful afterwards. So hopefully this is going to be a really successful holiday for you. And I know we're coming into 3 holidays, Halloween, Thanksgiving, and then Christmas, all of which are a challenge for people who are trying to get healthier and to lose weight. So plan ahead, and we're going to get through the holiday season. We will. And, if you slip up, just push it aside, pick up and start over again. It's not something that you have to beat yourself up over. That's for sure. But I wouldn't say, oh, I'm going to start over tomorrow. As soon as you feel like, oh no, I've slipped up and I feel that regret, start over that moment. You don't have to wait. And I know I used to do that all the time. I used to say, oh, well, I'll start over tomorrow. And then inevitably I would end up eating more stuff that I regretted, and it's not worth it. So, it's like you're satisfying this tongue, the organ, this little tongue you've got here, this muscle, and the taste buds on it. And as soon as it passes over your tongue, it's doing bad things in your body. So I had to kind of get over the mentality of I'm just going to give myself a momentary satisfaction on my tongue, but yet it's going to be something that's toxic and poison to my body. So it's a challenge. It's very psychological. It's something you have to come to, but a lot of being aware is really helpful. That's for sure. So, anyways, that's my little talk about Halloween, and I hope that just I can encourage you to get through this holiday without any regrets. All right. So this week, I felt like I was playing whack-a-mole with symptoms, and I don't know if it's just because there's probably more than one reason, but I know this is the fourth week I believe, I went back and checked, it's the fourth week on the Lion diet. I have found some challenges on the Lion diet, and I've been trying to figure out what it is. Like, I have been feeling weaker, and I don't know, like, I know I ate a lot of cheese before, so first I was thinking, well, I'm probably not getting as much sodium. So I tried to up my sodium. I think that I'm also not been getting to bed early enough. I've been getting less sleep. I mean, you can see my rosacea. My rosacea is worse right now. And it was looking really good. And my forehead is, it really shows on my forehead. My glasses can hide this, but look, I mean, when I look past my glasses, look at this. I was noticing I get these little pustules. I was noticing some of those this week. My body is not happy right now. And I'm thinking maybe it was because I've been struggling on the Lion diet to get enough fat. That may be the case, that I'm not getting enough fat because I had to eliminate dairy, and I was getting a lot of my fat from butter. So I'm contemplating maybe adding ghee to see whether or not that might help. But I'm going to have to really focus and see what I can do to get more fat back in my diet. I bought these beef tallow capsules, which I haven't used yet. So I think I might start with that and just try the beef tallow capsules and see what I can do. Because right now my fat is limited to beef. Now, because I wasn't feeling very strong and I was feeling tired and weak, I ended up eating a couple things that I normally wouldn't eat on the Lion diet. We ran out of the beef sticks. I usually get the Chomps brand beef sticks, and there's a few spices in there that probably aren't the greatest for me, but overall they're pretty clean. But we had these turkey ones, and I ate the turkey one, and turkey, poultry generally doesn't sit that well with me. And then later, I think it was the same day, I ate some fish. Now, normally fish wouldn't be a problem, but my gut is kind of weird, and I can never tell for sure what's not sitting well. But I know that I wasn't feeling that great before then, and my gut was kind of unhappy after I ate those things. My gut loves beef and lamb. I don't know why it's having so much trouble with the others. Maybe it's because I still haven't healed the leaky gut and all the gut issues that are going on. But let's see. I've written some notes here so I can keep track, but I had a goal last week, over the last 2 weeks, of trying to poop more. Now, if you're sensitive about poop, just forward through this, but I trying to poop more. Did not meet that goal. Like last week, I went 4 times. I had 4 bowel movements. This week I had 1. I don't know if it's because I haven't been getting enough fat. I've been drinking water. But yeah, it's almost like my body says, okay, you set a goal, fine. I'm going to make it really difficult for you. And okay, so this is going to be a lot of TMI here. Okay, but this just goes to show the challenge I had this week. I also have been experiencing a hemorrhoid. Not an internal hemorrhoid, it's an external hemorrhoid. Hasn't been bleeding, but it's been painful. So I've been taking Epsom salt baths. I've been putting some cream. It's better, but that was earlier in the week. And I'm like, seriously, like really, I'm dealing with a hemorrhoid. And I mean, I was a GI nurse, so I know that not to strain. Okay, so if you are constipated, it's important not to sit for prolonged periods of time on the toilet trying to go. And because it creates downward pressure. And if you do have hemorrhoids, it can flare them up. So I know better than to do that, but I was just so intent on making sure I had a bowel movement, as often as I could, that I was going and I was trying. But I made sure I wasn't sitting on there for longer than a couple minutes. That's the official GI recommendation, is don't sit on the toilet longer than about 2 minutes trying to poop. Otherwise, you could possibly flare up hemorrhoids. So I don't know if that's what the problem was or not, but it just hasn't been a good week. So anyways, for all of my new subscribers, it's like, I've had all these wonderful weeks and everything. And it's like, I had these great results and everything. And now I'm having a down week, but it's inevitable. It's going to happen. And so my challenge for myself is how am I going to address it? How am I going to deal with it? Am I going to let it get me down, or am I going to just say, okay, look, this happens. It's normal. I mean, I got to practice what I preach, right? I preach being prepared for down times. And so I am. I'm not going to let this discourage me. I'm just going to keep pushing through. So with that said, let's go on to my scale results. All right. So for the first time since I started, this is week 20. I just finished week 22. I gained weight on the scale. Kind of not surprising. Now, I have had some pretty significant drops in weight over the last few weeks. So I figured, well, it was only a matter of time before I was going to have a gain. And so it's a small gain. It's a small gain. All right. But I want to break it down like I always do. So I gained 1 pound, even 1 pound on the scale. But my fat-free body weight, all that good tissue, has steadily been going upward. I've been gaining muscle. I've been gaining bone very steadily. And this is the first week I've actually lost in the good tissue. So something is happening in my body, is not happy with it. But I lost a total of 0.4 pounds of good tissue. And so that means my actual fat gain for the week was 1.4 pounds. So I gained almost 1.5 pounds of actual fat. Not happy with that. But it happens. So it was only a matter of time. So I looked at the breakdown. My muscle is where I lost the most. I lost 0.8 of a pound. So almost a whole pound of muscle is what I lost. So what I've been doing, my body's not happy with. I think I might have gained about 0.4 of water. I do notice I have more inflammation. I was also increasing my sodium, my actual salt that I'm putting on things, because of the fact that I haven't been eating cheese. I was thinking, well, maybe I'm not feeling that great because of the sodium. So I have increased my sodium. I may go ahead and just, go back to what I was doing before when it comes to the sodium, because I don't think it really made a difference to increase the sodium. And if anything, it made me retain fluid. So my total, overall loss of between muscle and fluid was 0.4, but almost a pound of muscle loss is not good. I'm not happy with that. Bone stayed the same, so that's good, but it takes longer for bone to react to these changes that are going on in my body. So 1.4 pounds of fat gain this week. So let's look at the totals. So since the beginning, the scale has gone down 42.6 pounds. My fat-free body weight, I have gained 17.2 pounds of the good tissue overall. So my fat loss is right now a total of 59.8 pounds. So it did go down. It was up to 60-some pounds last week. My muscle overall is up 16 pounds. My bone is overall up 1.2 pounds. So my overall good tissue gain is 17.2 pounds. So that's all good. I mean, 1 week is not a trend. The question is, what am I going to do about it? So number 1, I'm going to work on my sleep and get better sleep. Number 2, I'm going to work on getting more fat in my diet. I just think that the Lion diet has been a challenge for me. when it comes to fat. I don't know yet whether I'm going to add the ghee. I think, like I said, I think I'm going to add the beef tallow first and the beef tallow capsules and see if that will help me. I also bought a magnesium citrate powder that hopefully is going to help me, number one, poop, number two, sleep better. I haven't taken it yet. I got it in the mail yesterday. It was the Pure Encapsulations brand, that's a brand that I use a lot, and I have a lot of faith in their quality. So we'll see. It is what it is, and so I'm not going to let this get me down. It is one bad week, and I also have mentioned in the past that when I'm in this like 290s range, I tend to hit a set point. Usually it's in the lower 290s. So I don't know if this is what's going on or if it's just, but this particular like 10-pound range for my body struggles with. So I'm kind of anticipating it to be a challenge for me to get into the 280s. I expect a struggle ahead. So I'm just going to go week by week, day by day, and see what happens. So I hope that you'll stick with me. I'm still getting my exercise. My legs have felt a little weaker, so I knew that I wasn't doing as good. But I'm still going to continue getting my exercise, and it's a beautiful day. And if you're still here with me, thank you so much. I'm going to have my first live stream later today, 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And I wanted to learn how to do live streams. And so I'm using my husband as a guinea pig. So we're going to get on live this evening, and we're going to chat and get an update from him on how he's been doing. And he's doing really well. So hope to see you there. Hope to see some comments. I have no idea what to expect. But anyways, the carnivore community is awesome and supportive. So thank everybody for all their wonderful comments. And I hope everyone is having a wonderful day and a wonderful week. Take care. Bye-bye.